Yeah, I would say, frankly, we've seen almost everything you just said could have been said equally 4 to 5 years ago. Every time we're in a bull market, every regulatory agency in the world wants to come out and say they're doing this or that to control Bitcoin and tax it or whatever, what may have you. But ultimately, it's just Bitcoin is a game that plays by its own rules. So it's going to bend all of the regulators around it over time. And as far as the short-term outlook goes, I think we are 12 months into the bull market, frankly. So historically, the Bitcoin halving triggers a bull run that persists for about 12 to 18 months after each event. So the last halving, in which Bitcoin's inflation rate was cut from 12 and a half Bitcoin to 6.25 per block, was in May 2020. Historically, I think it's roughly 510 days after the halving event, the market tends to put in a new all-time high price. So that would put us around mid-October, kind of early to mid Q4 this year for an expectation of a new Bitcoin all-time high price. I had a model posted. I think it's still published on Twitter 3 years ago that we called the next Bitcoin peak at $244,000. I modified that model after COVID because I also think that the inflationary pressures on the US dollar are going to become especially pronounced roughly 18 months after the printing began, which just so happens to fall right in line with the next Bitcoin price peak. So I think we could break $300,000 in this market cycle. And at that point,
when you say this market cycle, what do you mean by that? Give me a more specific time period.
This is Bitcoin's fourth market cycle. So it's had these huge run-up peaks. The last one, say it bottomed in July 2015 at $200. Over the next 29 months, it ran up 100x to 20,000 in December 2017. That's really when it got on the global radar. And then it had a drawdown of 84% to about 3,500 in December 19. That was the third Bitcoin market cycle, which was again mapped onto its halving. Every time its inflation rate cuts in half of the supply available on the market to be sold by miners is reduced by half. So holding demand constant, price goes up. But of course, the market's constantly overshooting and undershooting its actual value. So, running numbers on those figures and looking at Bitcoin's hash rate, which is the energy being allocated to secure its network, I think we're on target to break $300,000 this year.
This year. So that's your target, $300,000.
$307,000. Yeah, that's our current model price.
307. I like that. I like that specificity. That's very exact.
Well, you got to listen to the spreadsheet.
Okay.